Unfiltered, uncut, and uncensored. This is trending live on X here on YouTube. Hope you're good out there. So let's get straight to it. Lagos State Government demolishes 19 illegal buildings at Trade Fair Complex after floods. The Lagos State Government demolished over 19 multi-story structures at New Mandela Plaza in the Lagos International Trade Fair Complex on September 25th, 2025, targeting buildings without approvals that encroached on roads and drainage channels. The operation, coordinated by agencies including the LASBCA and LASURA, that's the LASURA, under heavy security, follows severe flooding from heavy rains on September 23rd that stranded traders in Ojo. This enforcement is part of the ongoing urban renewal efforts, similar to a 2023 demolition at the site, with affected owners protesting lost investments amidst no compensation for unapproved building. Okay. Something about this is that, look, I'm not even saying don't do correction. I'm not even saying don't do the needful. But again, I think we should start looking at those who gave approvals, because you can't tell me that people just wake up one morning, move into a place, and start building. Somebody must have given them that prompt. Somebody must have given them that approval. They must have gotten documents for that. Why are we not hearing things around the lines of prosecuting those who must have given approvals to places that are not supposed to give approvals? Why are we not hearing that? Every now and then you just put people into poverty, destroy multi-million naira buildings. It is just unbelievable. Anyways, it's now almost looking like, it's deliberate. Somebody just gives approval to you while you ask for it, and even though they know that place is going to be demolished, they give you the approval, and then when you go build or start building, or you build and may have lived or stayed there for at least 20, 30 years, they come and start destroying it. I don't know, it doesn't look that way for me. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. Look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Can you imagine that? You see how big that building is? See how big that building is? It is like we're talking in millions of naira. Look at that. Just look at that. Do you know how much this is worth now in Nigerian naira? I mean, and all of these buildings are going to be going down just because somebody neglected their jobs.
You understand? We're going to preserve the trade fair complex, which is this, which is why we're all these buildings. This is the trade fair complex.
I don't know if we are almost always like that. We entertain wastages. Do you know the amount of monies that must have gone into that building? And then people just wake up one morning because they are law enforcement agents, just demolish people's buildings. So, crying out loud, you knew when that building was at the foundation stage. You knew where that building was at the lintel stage. You knew where that building. Like, why do we excuse waste? This is terrible, man. This is terrible. I don't know what you guys think, man. Just let me know what you guys think. Let me see if I can grab some reactions. Okay. Regarding this developments in Lagos. A youth in progress or in process says demolition wastes resources on both sides. That's exactly what I was saying. The citizens who invested to build and the governments are deploying tractors, workers, and taxpayers' funds to tear it down. A better approach is prevention, strengthening policies and public awareness so such structures never arise. That way, citizens save their money, government saves resources, and the nation gains. Gosh, damn, this is just perfect. This is exactly what I was talking about. Daniel says, Igbo businessmen, you people have to be matured. come together and fund a seaport in the east on the Shah River port, because if you don't, all these attacks and demolition are not stopping. You see how crazy this can be. In 1 minute, somebody has turned it to become a tribal issue. I don't know. Virtually anything in Nigeria that isn't tribal, everything almost did turn it to be a tribal something. Tribal something. Like, why? Is that who we are, really? Is that what we do as Nigerians? Like, why do we put tribal sentiments in front of issues? Well, why are we pointing towards tribalism before we even think as human beings? I don't know, man. Like, I'm sure that it's not only Igbos that have shops in that trade fair complex or whatever you call it. It's not only Igbos. There are other people, there are other tribes who have buildings there. Well, some people will argue, well, there must be more of the Igbos than other tribes. You can't really tell. You can't really tell. It's a trade fair complex in Lagos, and so anyway, I'm not trying to say that there isn't truth in what he has said. That there might be a target, towards the Igbos, because of course we didn't see this type of demolitions happen before the 2023 elections, but just after the 2023 elections, we saw some crazy demolitions, and it almost seemed as if this building destructions are targeted towards Igbos. After all, somebody made a statement, anyways, Bayon Anuga, that we will never allow Igbos play a role in their elections, as if he could say the same thing by stating that you will never also allow anybody or allow Igbos, pay tax in their state. Yeah, if you could say that, then why don't you say that they will not allow Igbos to pay tax, so that you are sure that you are doing the right thing, all true and true? I'm just saying, really. Ak Uche Rocha says, those who bought a playground to build a plaza shouldn't only be prosecuted and thrown into prison. They should also be made to serve with hard labor. Mpaya Zelwa says, is trade fair no longer federal government zone and support property? Why is state government going there to demolish building that federal government might have certified and cleared for erecting those stories? Okay. It is high time every region of the country have their own working international seaport, and let them decongest Lagos. You cannot just be wasting people's billions of naira and keep relocating them. You were not blind or deaf when these buildings were going on. This is the same thing I said earlier. Again, every government that have come on board have refused to dredge the River Niger, and that is the river or the sea that could potentially bring goods directly from abroad into Nigeria, into Onisha, so that goods will be closer. I know there is Port Harcourt. You could get goods, sheep would bet there. In one of the stories that I did, I think recently there was a sheep that birthed at on Onisha River Port. I think that during dry season, sheep doesn't apply that route, because it hasn't been dredged. It's only during rainy season, heavy rainy season, and then you know that the water levels are pretty high and good enough, and that's the reason why sheep can come through. So the idea is basically the government should continue dredging that River Niger. But again, when you have had a northerner being president before who doesn't see that need, and when you have also had a Yoruba man thinking, look, if I do this for you guys, it means that Lagos is going to be decongesting. And for people who know that Jagaban, Lagos is like his playbook. You would think that he isn't going to do it. So you don't have this people spread out to the east. So you could tell that, guys, it's about time. If we really want development across boards, everyone should be decongesting their mind in tribalism and making sure that development goes across. Because I see no reason why the River Niger cannot be dredged further so as to have sheep's birth in Onisha to basically get some of these goods directly to the people of the southeast. And after all, those who even do these imports are mostly Igbos. Those who are traders, those who are businessmen are mostly Igbos. And so why wouldn't you have a seaport in Igbo land? Why? Why? A working one, a one that works day in, day out, week in, week out, whether it's dry season or rainy season. So, good point that has been made here, really. But I don't want to be fixated at the fact that Lagos State government is targeting Igbos. But again, it almost looks as if it is that, because again, we're counting some few months to the elections. Anyways, New Age Construction says to avoid cases like this, you should do proper documentation of the land or properties. Trust me, people don't wake up one morning and decide that they're going to waste this money, and make sure they don't do proper documentation. Even with your proper documentation, those lands will be taken away from you and nothing will happen. Those properties will be taken away from you and nothing will happen. I mean, just the other day here, we saw Peter Obi going to his brother's land in Lagos in Ikeja. We're talking about a former governor in this country, practically begging that, look, this properties is my brother's property. These people came and just demolished it, and they come here and work only weekends. Even after the day he stepped into that place, the people kept coming. And then he saw the court sheet. The court sheet did not even mention anybody's name. Like, he said he's looking for the person. Let's even talk. You say this place is yours. I'll be, oh yeah, bring your own document. Let me see. Let's just put it in contrast. And that is a personality that is respected. That is a personality that everybody knows. They're not about you who isn't known. They will do that to you 10,000 times and nothing will happen. It's that crazy. It's that crazy. It's that crazy, man. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you as always.